Hey guys, wanted to give a pre-race update here now that I'm in the taper phase, less than 2 weeks out from the Mohican 100. Let you know what I think went well with the workout plan, some things that caused me to adjust, and areas maybe that I think I could probably be improved upon. The real test will be on the race day next Saturday on the 17th. Find out really how good it was. But overall, I think it was pretty good. I feel like I'm um, well prepared. I feel like it's sufficient to get me in good enough shape to finish the race. Pretty easy to follow workout plan, not too difficult. And overall, I feel pretty well prepared. A couple things um, as I got through the peak phase here, and really just working through spring in Ohio, training up for a spring mountain bike race. Things that I kind of knew, but really didn't fully take into account or really fully expect. Um, so this may help you if you're training for the Mohican 100 next year or another race and using a Chat GPT type training plan. So spring races in Ohio. Ohio is muddy in the springtime after the thaw. Um, Most of our single track trails around here all spring have been mudded out. So when it was cold and frozen, you could still get out and ride on a lot of those trails. But as soon as it started to warm up, the pattern of weather, it's been an unusually wet spring for us here. Pretty much anytime it warmed up, we had rain that came along with it. So trails were mudded out, and if it didn't rain, it was pretty cold. So a lot less single track than I was hoping for in the train up, but I was able to make up for it in other ways. Other ways like increasing mileage, doing additional hill workouts. We have option here in Cleveland. We have an indoor bike park actually that we can go to called Ray's Indoor Bike Park in Cleveland. That's an option. Obviously, can't go there every day. It can get kind of expensive going to a bike park every day, but that is an option to get some type of terrain in the wintertime to go check out. One thing you guys may not know is I can't always just take off and just ride by myself for several hours a day. I have three kids at home, so I can't always just leave everyone behind. But one thing I incorporated into my training on some of my different days and hill days is using the bike trailer. I have just an in-step bike trailer. Hook that to the mountain bike, put the kids in there, bundled them up if it was cold, gave them some snacks and some drinks, and they came along with me on the workout. So you get a huge workout pulling that bike trailer, especially if you're trying to go hard, pulling kids up hills, whether that's hills or just going in a flat line, or when it gets windy, it's like dragging a parachute behind you. If you've ever done any other type of endurance running, if you're running with like a weighted vest or things like that, or it even kind of reminded me of in high school football where you're pushing the sled. All that stuff just helps build explosive power, helps build strength. And once the trailer comes off, it's amazing how light you feel. It feels like the hill isn't there, the bike doesn't weigh anything. So I would say that was a real important part of my training that I was able to incorporate on some of these rides, these like Tuesday, Thursday rides, hill repeats and sprints and things like that. Doing those with the bike trailer that helped quite a bit. When I couldn't get to any off road due to the mud, I was able to make it harder by pulling along the bike trailer. I would say you don't have to have kids to do that. I see these bike trailers for sale all the time on Marketplace, on Craigslist. A lot of times with little use, you can get a trailer, a little bike trailer, and just put a 50-pound sandbag in it. That would be great for training, building endurance, and increasing leg strength on those hill workouts. So I really like training with the bike trailer, and it makes simple rides actually a lot harder, especially if you're really trying to push it pulling those trailers. So I would recommend incorporating bike trailer work to help build endurance and strength uh, through your training plan preparing for races. Another thing, once you get past 3 or 4 hours on some of these longer rides you see on Saturdays, I had these 5 and 6 hour long bike rides. um, that's really, once you get over 4, at least for me, the way my body feels, that's really when you got to start including nutrition, and trying out what works. Your body only has so much glycogen stores, and it can only burn so much fat at a time. You really need to have some fuel that your body can easily convert into energy to keep you going and operating at peak performance out on the ride. Um, so for me, What works well for me, I have a from when I used to do ultra running, I have a vest, Solomon vest with a water flask on it. I carry water there. I've got a water bottle on my bike for just plain water. Some people like Gatorade or different mixes. I may incorporate some of that, but typically I just drink plain water. For actual fuel, I like honey packets, small packets of just plain honey. I know there's power gels and things you can use, but for me, plain honey works pretty good. And then also I like Snickers bars too. Once I get going on a ride, once I get over 3 hours, just taking a bite of a Snickers bar, it's got a good mix of fats and it's got a good mix of sugar for like that instant energy. Um, I don't really feel like eating when I'm out riding and training, so something like that, I I can stomach it. It doesn't bother my stomach, and I'm still interested and able to eat it when I'm out riding. Just take a bite or two, ride a couple miles. When I start feeling like I'm getting sluggish or like I'm getting a little bit hungry, I'll just take another bite of the Snickers bar and keep going. For me, that works really well. I know there's some more specific things you can get: power bars, Cliff bars. Um, the main thing is you gotta try what works for you and try. Um, don't wait to waste race day to try it and try this new thing. That's a recipe for disaster. You're gonna tear up your stomach if your body's not used to that and you haven't trained that. So that's a big thing that I would say to include here and to not overlook that. You don't want to really change up anything on race day. You want to keep it the same way that you trained up and the same way that you're prepared. So experiment with those different foods during your train up to see what works well for your body. Is what you want to go with on race day. So there's just a quick update on the plan and some things that I encountered along the way. But overall, it wasn't too difficult to follow. It was fairly flexible, and like I had said before in a previous video, if I need to flip flop some days based on other things I have going on, I did that as well. So, like I said, the real test will come on race day next Saturday, and I'll give you guys an update from there. But there's where we are in the training plan. Thanks for watching.